Congrats on the new VC. Where are you putting that money to work?
Oh, thank you, Taylor. It really is a classic corporate fund. It's a fund within Splunk. We are super passionate about data and the power that data can bring to solve so many of the world's problems. And those two funds are purposely constructed to help invest in companies that have more of a commercial purpose on using data to solve different issues around the world, from healthcare to consumer issues to privacy issues, leveraging the Splunk platform, but we're even open to investing outside of people that play in the Splunk ecosystem. And the other one is more of a social fund. The transformation from an industrial economy to more of a data and services-driven economy can be dislocating. And there's a lot of great organizations out there that are trying to help with everything from reskilling of populations all the way through to different beneficial programs in areas like human trafficking, or that wouldn't necessarily be commercial entities, but really do an amazing societal good using data again as a backbone.
You know, analysts are pretty bullish on the stock. The last I checked on my terminal was 37 buys, 7 holds, 1 sell. They're really bullish on the future growth opportunities. Where do you see that future growth?
So we have classically focused on the technical departments within organizations because they are fully digital already, which means that they've got overwhelming amounts of data at their disposal that they need to craft the signal versus the noise from, which is where President Obama's comments came from. The genius of that data is it can also be used for manufacturing optimization, supply chain optimization, but our core focus on those technical buyers is still so early in the journey. We look at that market as being less than 5% penetrated. So our bulk of our focus remains on cybersecurity, IT resiliency, developers, and then helping those buyers serve the rest of the organization by taking that same data and using it for other revenue generating or customer serving or cost savings activities.
It was really interesting on Wednesday in post-market, shares of Splunk rose as much as 2%. This was on news that Cisco had tried to make an acquisition for Datadog. Datadog, of course, then rebuffed the offer. But the point here is the broader M&A landscape. Do you assume Splunk makes further cloud acquisitions, or do you get bought out?
The thing we can't control is who do we focus on. And we talked this morning that we've made over 10 acquisitions across 4 years. We are actively always looking at additional technologies that could add to our fold and help our customers. I would anticipate that there'd be more in the future. We had 2 relatively big ones over the past 3 weeks. And we see so much opportunity. We're at truly the beginning innings of this data era. So whatever it takes, organic or inorganic, to make sure that our customers' needs are solved and they can actually turn data into doing and not just be overwhelmed by it is something that we're committed to.
Within the cloud space, how do you compete with the big guys? Amazon, Oracle, et cetera, who not only have a cloud, but then they also have their own data analytics company. How do you stand out? Yeah,
that's right now we are adding value to the different data services that those vendors provide. We're enhancing and enriching the services that they offer. The reality that any of us live in when you are participating with Google, with Microsoft, with Amazon, is you've got to always find ways to add value up that stack. So that's going back to acquisitions and the massive investments we constantly make in R&D. They keep coming out with really compelling services. We keep finding ways to add much more effective value to those services, but then also draw from the multi-cloud horizon and on-prem data centers to then take that value up even higher for organizations that have these very heterogeneous landscapes.
As we dig down into your business a little, I should note JP Morgan analyst upgraded the stock again today on he sees advanced bookings or future bookings really strong going out into the year. How do you forecast future bookings? How do they look?
The economy is in such an interesting state right now. What we have seen the last 2 quarters is while people are there's a lot of change, and they're trying to digest the change. The data initiative and this digital transformation we've been talking about for a decade remains top of mind for leaders. When you're facing the born in the cloud vendors that bring new business models to their customers, you must keep investing in the digital transformation journey and in taking advantage of data. So far, we're not seeing any big impacts in our outlook for our products. And it's always quarter by quarter outlook on that.
Yeah, how is the broader tech spending environment? Do you at all fluctuate with tariffs, with trade internationally versus domestic? How has that consumer spend felt?
We're probably a secondary impact. As organizations have to bear the burden of tariffs, that obviously takes budget. Then they have to reevaluate budgets and what they want to spend that money on. We do trade internationally. We do sell internationally, and currency is an issue for us there. We tend to be in U.S. dollars. That still has an effect on us because now they've got to quantify what the new price is based on their own currency fluctuations. So it's probably not quite the same impact that a manufacturer or something that's shipping physical goods has, but ultimately we're at the service of our customers and trying to drive them forward, and their budgets translate back into what they can spend with on firms like us.
Finally, you introduced some recent price changes. How much more of a tailwind is that for you going forward?
The main focus that we were really driving is serving our customers. Customer success is our #1 business criteria. So this was a key element that we felt was critical for customers to get value from Splunk. Now, within our modeling, we think it's a tailwind. We think it provides a lot more leniency for what they can do with the software. And there's so much data that with a easier pricing metric, they're able to put a lot more data in and get a lot more value back out. So I anticipate it'll be a tailwind. But honestly, we would have done it even if it was a headwind, because it's so important to our customers to, again, manage that data and then turn it into effective actions.